The world is at war. It's basically the evolved against the unevolved people. It's the evolved versus the unevolved. The evolved people are the progressives, the liberals, the leftists, the people who understand that we have to move forward, not backwards. And then you have the unevolved, and those are the conservatives. When people stop evolving, they become conservatives. They want to go back to an earlier time. For example, the Muslim conservatives throughout the Middle East, they want to go back to the late 1800s. That's why they force all of their women to cover their faces, their entire bodies with veils, hiding their faces, hiding their bodies. That's what the conservative Muslims want. They want to go back to the late 1800s. Here in America, we have our Christian conservatives, our nationalist conservatives, our racial conservatives, mostly known as Republicans. And they want to go back to the 1920s, to the 1940s. It's very evident when you look at their policies. The only thing they know is what was passed down to them. And it seems like that's the only thing that they'll ever understand. Just the things that were passed down to them. It's like they're not capable of understanding anything else. If they didn't learn it from grandma and grandpa, then it's bad. It's evil. That's just how they think in their minds. Whereas the progressive, the liberal, the so-called leftist, those are the ones who they see a bright future away from the past. They see a future with electric vehicles, with clean energy. They see a future where there aren't really black nations or white nations or Asian nations, but everyone is kind of mixed in together. And it's not always going to be perfect, but that has to be the way forward. The world cannot exist for a very long time with everyone continuing to be divided by so many different lines. People divided by race, and people divided by religion, people divided by their nationality, by their race. People have to move past that. And there are a few of us out there that we get it. We see the big picture and we understand. We understand that people, everything has to come together. People have to come together. When people stop evolving, they become conservatives. And when you're a conservative, you are against everything that is new, everything that is different, everything that goes against what you were taught growing up as a kid. When you're a conservative, you view other people as being bad. You view other people as not being, they shouldn't mix with you. It's a horrible, horrible way to think. Just because something was passed down to you, it doesn't make it correct. And it doesn't make it right. Just because it was passed down to you. You know what else has been passed down through generations? Racism and sexism and all the horrible isms that tear the world apart. They've all been passed down generation to generation, but let's just keep on passing down these same old traditions and these old beliefs. Let's keep passing them down generation to generation, and we wonder why this world has the problems today that it had 100 years ago, even 500 years ago, 1,000 years ago, war and hatred and destruction and destroying each other. It's because we keep passing the same things down from generation to generation and nobody gets it. The progressive, they want to erase the racial lines. The progressive, they want to erase gender lines. Why can't we just be human first for once? There's never been one single time in human history that we called ourselves human before anything else. Before black, or before white, or before Russian, or before Chinese, or before Indian, before Christian, before Muslim, before Hindu, before Buddhism. Why can't we ever just be human first? Let's be ourselves first and celebrate our individuality. We only get one life, one human life. So we should embrace our humanity before we embrace our nationality, before we embrace our religion. Does anybody care about themselves before whatever category you were told you should be in growing up? It's how they control us. It's how they control humans. It's how they've been controlling humans for thousands of years. They separate us, they categorize us, they show us invisible lines in the dirt, and they tell us that you belong behind this line and that person, they belong behind that line. So let's build a big wall on the imaginary lines. They're lying to us.